Thank you. Good morning, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to welcome you in Vladivostok. With many of you, we've met 3 years ago during the APEC summit, and today it's a real pleasure for me to see you at the Eastern Economic Forum. It's the first time we are organizing such a forum, and your active participation of national and foreign business community is a sign of the interest you have vis-à-vis the Far East. And it's an important region with huge capacity, and it's a sign of deep transformations which are going on in the Far East. Practical demonstration of our policy is aimed at fast and active development of this region. I'd like to stress that the development of Far Eastern territories reflects historical continuity for Russia. Advancement of Russia to the Pacific frontiers is the result of great efforts and courage of many of our predecessors. Development of the Far East is linked to the great Russians, industrialists, explorers, and in spite of changes of time and political systems, such a development path remains constant. Great plans to develop Far East pushed forward back in 19th, 20th centuries by such figures as Sergei Witte, Peter Stolypin, had a follow-up later during the Soviet Union, founding Vladivostok, Komsomolsk-on-Amur, construction of Transsib and Trans-Siberian and Baikal-Amur railroads, exploitation of natural wealth of the Far East, in reality were projects of national standing which pushed forward the development of the entire country, not only the Far East. And today, the future of the Far East for us is the future of one of the key centers of social and economic development of Russia, which should be integrated to the fast developing Asia-Pacific region in general. And it means that the economic growth and development of infrastructure, creation of new industries and workplaces. This is the main mission and to achieve this aim, we do our best. Recently, we've implemented dozens and dozens of big projects, large-scale projects. Many of them have a global significance, judging by their coverage. I'm talking about oil pipeline, East Siberia to Pacific, inauguration in Vladivostok of a federal university, which is a very important educational center, construction of the Power of Siberia gas pipeline, creation of Cosmodrome Eastern or Vostochny, modernization of the Baikal and expansion Baikal and Amur and Transsib, development of Sakhalin, Shelf Sea, Magadan and Kamchatka, implementation, creation of Eastern oil and chemical center, shipbuilding cluster, creation of factories to develop iron ore, and many projects in the agricultural sector. Our main priority in the Far East is active political and social development, creation of state-of-the-art transport and education infrastructure, construction of affordable housing, creation of efficient health system. And no doubt, one of our main aim is consolidation of economic freedom, offering to national and foreign investors best opportunities for doing business to achieve the highest efficiency and payoff of capitals, which will make it possible for the Far East to compete with the leading business centers of the world. Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, in the Far East, we are offering our potential partners, exclusive opportunities and most favored treatment. I'd like to mention details of such a approach. We've talked about that, and we keep talking about that. But I've come here to talk with you and to give you this information directly. On the 30th of March of this year, fast-track development territories law has been adopted. We will keep working with our investors to stimulate projects implemented in the Far East. Residents of such territories, we will offer special conditions to organize new businesses, favorable tax regimes, administrative support measures, and assistance in developing infrastructure. In the Far East, we've created 9 of such territories in the Sakha Republic, Yakutia, in Primorsk, Khabarovsk districts, Amur district, and Chukotka and Kamchatka. Creation of such territories in the Russian and Big Ussuriysky Island and other Far Eastern territories are in the pipeline. Even a wider set of preferences we will offer to the residents of the free port of Vladivostok. Coming October, we will adopt a necessary law, and it will cover all key ports of the southern part of Primoria, from Zarubino port to Nakhodka port, as well as 15 municipal areas where 75% of the population of Primorsk district is living. For business, we are simplifying drastically the border crossing procedures. Instead, multiple controlling bodies will be replaced by just one agency, and the border crossing points will work around the clock. We are also planning to introduce advanced electronic declaration of cargo. Foreigners coming to Russia via free port of Vladivostok will have an opportunity to get 8 days visa at the border. Residents of the free port will be offered beneficial insurance and tax payments, as well as free customs area regime. We believe that such measures will allow us to create powerful transport and in the future industrial hub, which will be satisfying demand not only in the Far East but all over the region. It should push forward foreign trade, international trade. It will help to open huge potential, which is centered at the southern part of our Far East. There is active interest in using free port of Vladivostok, expressed by our European, Japanese, Korean and Chinese partners, especially those representing border provinces of China. For them, it's a direct, which means the most economically efficient access to international maritime routes. While I believe that we've managed to develop attractive and competitive formula of such free port, we used our historical experience and best foreign practices. That's why I call upon our government to study the possibility to expand the regime of free port to other key ports of the Far East. Well, if investor invests in the Far East to develop mineral resource deposits, new industries, no doubt we will try to assist him in establishing the necessary infrastructure. It will allow us to reduce costs, to shorten time for payback and make our projects efficient. For the state, it's also very beneficial. For example, to develop infrastructural backup of 6 projects which we have selected out of state budget, we will, as a direct subsidy, we will invest 13.8 billion of rubles, and it will allow to attract private investments equaling 126.5 billion. 1-to-9 correlation, and I expect from my colleagues from the government that this tool will be applied actively, and the list of projects will be expanding. Co-financing of projects will be done through the Fund of Far East Development and Russian Fund of Direct Investments. We have adopted the decision to finance the construction of a bridge which will link Nizhny Leninsk and Tunsian, in other words, which will link together Russia and China. This fund, together with Russian and as well as foreign partners, has invested more than 50 billion of rubles to projects in the Far West. Talking about the Fund of the Far East Development, it will offer long-term money on favorable conditions and at the basis of a reduced interest rate. Well, I'd like to remind that in my message to our Federal Assembly, I've proposed a mechanism of capital top-up of this fund. I will avoid mentioning the details, but I'd like to ask our colleagues from the government to determine the sources as soon as possible. Well, we keep arguing, discussing this project, but yesterday I had a meeting with our finance minister, but I expect that soon we stop discussing this issue and we will take specific measures. Well, to develop our fast-track development zones and free port of Vladivostok will be efficient if we will improve the business climate in the Far East drastically. Regions should introduce actively the best practices in their cooperation with investments, in offering state services, in supporting SMEs, as well as in assisting projects which will develop housing and social infrastructure. We have to improve the preparation of our managers. We have mechanisms to do this. Agency of Strategic Initiatives, together with key educational centers, inaugurated the Center of Best Practices to creating favorable investment climates. I call upon governors, and I would like to tell them that business environment in your region is your responsibility, and we will assess the results of such efforts in the regions on the basis of the opinions of businessmen and entrepreneurs. I'm talking about the activities which have to do with the creation of such business-attractive investment climate. I'd like to remind that here in the Far East we are creating additional opportunities for our citizens which would like to move here and start their own business, agricultural farms or new industries. We are talking about our government's initiative to give free of charge to Russian citizens plots of land up to 1 hectare in the Far Eastern region. Practical implementation of this project will start in 2016, and I hope that it will affect favorably the development of huge Far Eastern territory, will attract to this region new people. I call upon our government to study this project expeditiously and pass it to the State Duma, and to simplify the procedure of offering such plots of land using IT technologies as well. I'd like to repeat, here in the Far East, all basic conditions for business should be competitive. Access to financial resources, administrative procedures, transport, as well as energy tariffs. In the framework of this project, we have to develop specific measures with an aim to reduce transport and energy costs of business in the Far East. We have to develop and prove attractive for the users, investors, electricity tariffs in each and every region. And I'm stressing this. I studied before this meeting what is going on with tariffs, and it's our long-term project, of this, long-term problem of this region. I would like to ask our Ministry of Energy to pay special attention to the situation in the region, in each and every area of the Far East. If needed, I would like to ask you to attract additional budgetary resources to create necessary infrastructure. I'd like to call upon all potential investors, Russian as well as foreign investors, who are planning or working already in the Far East and who are interested in investing in. We are interested in investing in all sectors of the region: shipbuilding, metallurgy, wood processing, bioresources, transport, energy, as well as health and tourism. Your projects will be supported and assisted. If there is a need, you could go directly to people responsible for this, including my representative, who is Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Trutnev. He has all the necessary authority to do this. I'd like to stress, government should stick to the priority character of financing of the social and economic development of this territory. And to do this, we have to consolidate resources of federal budget, state project programs, and development institutions, as well as infrastructural companies and companies with state participation. And it's a huge reserve. Mr. Sechin is here, and his company, Rosneft, just one of such companies, together with its partners, are planning to invest in their projects more than 1,300,000,000,000 rubles, and the multiplying effect will be more than 6 trillion of rubles, and they will create about 100,000 new workplaces. They will produce products of 6 trillion of rubles for during 6 years, and we will get additional taxes of about 4 trillion of rubles. We will keep developing shipbuilding cluster. I've mentioned this already. I'd like to inform you, saying that I've decided to speed up the modernization of Far Eastern shipbuilding complex Star or Zvezda, and invest into companies of Rosneft 60 billions of rubles. We have resources, it's a rather reliable source. What is important is to use these resources efficiently. The Rosneft resources represent an efficient tool. The entire modernization program of this plant is 146 billion of rubles, will be provided by Rosneft and Gazprom Bank. It's a beneficial resources which will allow us to achieve deep-rooted transformation of this factory, to organize civil shipbuilding as well as shipbuilding for oil and gas industry, etc. I'd like to welcome all our foreign partners who are participating in this project. Dear colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that countries of this region, in spite of facing present problems, remain to be a driving force of the entire world economy, will remain an important market for goods and services, and to consolidate relations with regional states for Russia is of high priority. Russia has great resource bases, is capable to support accelerated growth of this region. Creation of energy bridge between Russia and the region is our common strategic task. We do understand that this region is interested in strong and successful Russia, open for cooperation, and which is offering positive, constructive development agenda. Completely new opportunities are opening for us in the area of industrial cooperation thanks to Eurasian integration. Eurasian Economic Union is a huge regional market with free flow of goods, capital, services and labor with clear-cut rules without any barriers. This is a market which is based initially on the WTO principles. This year we have signed an agreement related to the creation of free trade zone between this union and Vietnam. Together with our partners, we keep studying the possibility of signing the same agreements with Israel, India and Egypt. On the 8th of May 2015, together with my Chinese vis-a-vis Mr. Xi Jinping, we have adopted a common declaration in Moscow about cooperation in linking the creation of Eurasian Economic Union and economic belt of the Silk Road. This document provides for coordination of our efforts, simplification of the process of bilateral investment and development of transport infrastructure. The power of both projects has to do with the fact that they complement each other efficiently, creating huge opportunities for each participant. In essence, we are creating a new configuration of trade routes, economic cooperation, and Eurasia. No doubt that this will affect positively not only to the development of our continent, but to the advancement of the entire world economy. For example, we will simplify drastically the shipment of cargo between Asia and Europe. Thus, from China, the cargo to Europe will cross only 2 customs borders. We are actively developing transport routes via Kazakhstan and European part of Russia. They are complementing the existing routes such as Transsib and Baikal-Amur railways. Till 2017, we are planning to invest in modernization and expansion of Baikal-Amur and Trans-Siberian railroads, roughly about 562,000 billion of rubles, which will allow to increase its capacity. We are also developing the Northern Maritime route for container shipment, which is dominating in the world haulage, and I ask our government to keep working in this direction. I believe that in implementing a large-scale common projects, here, international financial institutes could play a key role, and I'm talking about new development bank of BRICS with a capital of $100 billion, as well as Asian Bank of Infrastructural Investments with a declared capital of another $100 billion. And as you know, Russia is an active participant in this bank, judging by the amount of capital we are invested there. We are number 3 after China and India. We will be consolidating our cooperation with the regional states in creating infrastructure, developing trade and industrial cooperation. This region is not only a large-scale production and a well-known craftsmanship center of the world. Here we can see the active development of universities, educational centers, engineering centers, high-tech industries, what we call economy of knowledge and intellect. And our cooperation in science and educational sector becomes more and more important. It could push forward the technological development of all regional states. Russia has deep-rooted fundamental scientific ideas here, and we are ready to formulate our initiatives in this area. For example, we could create large-scale investigation platform or research platform or platform of so-called mega science, and this could form a basis for scientific breakthroughs. We have presently CERN and ITER, which are located in Europe, mainly in Europe, and I think it's high time to create the same infrastructure, the network of educational and scientific centers in Asia and Pacific region. Russia calls upon all interested parties to participate in this initiative. One of our centers is located here in the Far Eastern Federal University, where we are meeting today. We hope that it will become a platform for new ideas for the development of Russia and the entire region. This university, which you can see it today in its presence, state has been established 2 years ago. Today, together with our colleagues from China, Japan and India, we are actively developing business as well as fundamental and applied research. A lot of young people come here from different regions of Russia, and I hope that will stay here. Far East needs highly qualified experts, scientists, engineers, managers, organizers of industry, highly qualified workers with attractive competencies. And to attract such people, we've created the agency to develop human potential. Ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, we do understand the scale of the task that we have to solve. No doubt we will succeed. We are basing ourselves on realistic and proved strategy. In practical life, we are implementing our plans. And the idea of state-of-the-art Far East, the Far East of the 21st century, was supported by our society, which guarantees the success. According to the recent studies, the majority of our citizens have no doubt that it will be a dynamic and prosperous region. The Far East is open for everybody who is ready to cooperate and work, who is ready to implement his or her idea or business plans in this region to use unique opportunities for the development. I wish you success. Thank you for your attention.